my question is, though you are from engineering background and CSAT is like a cakewalk for you, but then these days there are other students who offer humanities and those who find it difficult to work in the CSAT. So what is your advice for those students who find it difficult for CSAT? Because I'm very sure that engineers have a specific, I would not say edge, but they have some expertise because of their earlier career in mathematics and reasoning and all that. What is your advice to the future aspirants for dealing with the CSAT paper? Because these days the paper of CSAT is going tougher day by day.
I've noticed that it is going tougher compared to 2015-16. It has become tougher. There's no doubt about that. However, I should be completely honest in that I did not do any preparation for CSAT. I went right away to the paper and it could have been cleared for me. So I would refrain from giving any specific advice because I'm not the expert in that or I have no exposure in that. But what I would say is that if you are weak at it, practice. As simple as that. Refer the previous year's papers, identify the trend of questions, identify the topics which you are weak or strong at, and then practice. Other than that, I'll refrain from saying anything.
Yeah, I think this is a wonderful advice that you have to practice in order to hone your skill in which you are good at. Coming to the marathon of the UPSC Civil Services, that is the UPSC mains. And here I would ask a few questions which students have asked to me about the GS, General Studies paper. And specifically, students asked questions related to GS1. Like the engineers, they sometimes find history to be a little less interesting rather than other subjects because as geography, there is a technical connect, so engineers go that way. So how do you deal with the, I don't say that rudimentary is not the right word actually, that art and culture area and the world history, because you see that UPSC is having a habit of asking the question if any event is coming to a benchmark like centenary year or 75th year existence. So World War II, ended in 1945. So it's 2020 is the 75th year. So any advice to the aspirants on this, like how to deal with such subjects which are a little bit shaky for the engineers?
Sir, I should be completely honest about it. First of all, in my opening remarks, I mentioned that my interest in the subject matter gradually increased. So the way it worked for me was I was highly interested in history and less interested in geography. Geography used to be the point which was my speed breaker in my preparation. I was going at fast rate, and when it came to geography for mains or for prelims, it used to be my speed breaker. So I had to deal with it tactfully. But at the end of the day, sir, it is a competitive exam, and you have to devote time on subjects based on their weightage. Right. So I gave relatively less time for art and culture as well as world history. I relied on the material of previous year selected candidates rather than going through hefty books because that was not required competitively. If I'm interested in it, I can read it after the exam. That's a different thing. So to be completely honest, modern history is relatively stronger for me than world history and art and culture. And if you look at the previous year's questions, the questions that are being asked from the culture aspect are becoming more generalistic rather than specific. So you can refer to standard textbooks, devote less time, refer to standard notes, rather than going into depth of those things. That is how I would advise the candidates to deal with these subjects.
One question students are asking, which is related to NCERTs, like whether you have read NCERTs so you have read the older versions of the NCERTs or the newer versions. What is your take on this? Which
I would say that
be better for the preparation?
I would say that, dear candidates, kindly don't take NCERTs lightly. Don't say, oh, school kids read this thing and we are above those. Don't take that approach. That is fallacious. And there can be no blanket statement regarding reading old or new NCERTs. You have to make a combination of it. See, what I did was for art and culture and ancient history, I read the NCERT by Sri Ram Sharan Sharma, Ancient India. That is very good. That will help you a lot. Read it multiple times, cover to cover. In prelims as well as mains, it will help you. And for medieval history, read the NCERT by Sri Satish Chandra selectively, not the entire book, because it has a lot of history about battles and all those things. That will not help you. But the chapters on economic significance will help you. Now, people do read Mr. Bipin Chandra's NCERT for modern history. You could do that, or I read Spectrum by Mr. Rajiv Ahir. And only once in my entire preparation did I read Bipin Chandra's India's Struggle for Independence. I never revised that book. Spectrum was more than enough for me. So now this was about the old NCERTs. But new NCERTs are also good. You have to religiously finish, however uninteresting it might sound, you have to religiously finish geographies NCRT, 4 NCRTs of 11th and 12th class, along with Leon. If you have the time, you can go through the 9th and 10th as well. They are good books. They cannot be trivialized. They are good books, but you have to make a combination regarding what NCRTs you will choose and what not. Some people also refer the NCRTs for art and culture. I personally did read them once, but I did not revise them. I went for Mr. Nitin Singhania's notes.